What's up, guys? Master Styles back with another impression video, and today we're going to be talking about the new hero. And I now have him at Immortal Hyperevolve. I didn't get him to EX30 yet, but I started the process just to get some extra attack on him. So this here is the set that I'm running for PvP. I am gonna do some PvP content, and it's kind of hard to do PvE content, but I do have some him attacking Cinsaro, and like I said, he's already hyper evolved EX24, and I'll bring him to EX30 once I get the red runes. A side note is that I did purchase that yearly pass because of the value that you're going to get in return, and they give you 40 red runes per week, which is only going to help you in the long run. Obviously, you get additional stamina for a couple of these stages, but that's beside the point. If you want to pick it up, pick it up. If you don't, that's probably going to be your loss, and you only have 6 days to pick it up. So I'm going to move on from there and continue to talk about the new hero here. Obviously, you're watching this because you want to know, should you invest in him? And we're going to go through the content and we're going to validate that. So first up, I wanted to try out this new endless battle that they have here for summoners. Not really a fan because, if you have low level summoners, they're probably not going to live for too long. They're going to end up dying. And you'll see that here. But let's focus on the new hero and see what he brings to the table. Out the gate, he obviously does a lot of damage because, again, there is a lot of bodies on the enemy team. And if there's more enemies, then he's going to do a lot more damage. So that's the key there. He's AoE damage, he's not single target. So if you're looking for a AoE damage dealer, he could be a good replacement for if you don't have Nord and if you don't have Jaina. So this is the way you want to look at it. Obviously, some people have both of those characters, but if you don't, I think he would be a great replacement for those two. Jaina is a whole nother animal, but we're not going to talk about that. So I'm focusing morely on the people that are new to the game because, for me, I already got him to Immortal because obviously I wanted to make the content. But again, here, as you can see, he kind of falls off because, again, there's too many bodies on the field. He ends up dying. And that's one of the other issues with him is that he tends to die fairly quick and his health pool is very low. Because again, when you're building him, you're going to be focusing on attack versus thinking about health. And this is what I was talking about, where in this endless battle, your team could get wiped out, which is pretty cool. I did say this, that I hope they would have different rotations. So this event is looking amazing so far. I wish there was more ways to get points because the key thing here now is the lack of points. There's a couple of days that's going by where you're not really getting no points other than the login and all of that fun stuff. But here, this is another place where he should excel because it's energy based and also AoE. Another side note is the hero here, Accordia. You notice that I have Teresh here because, again, this weakness and the strength of Teresh is the ability to throw. And I decided to throw Accordia because Accordia takes 60% less damage whenever there's a wind fear next to her in the same row. She stayed alive the whole match. And just so you know, this is stage 10 and she barely takes any damage because of what? One thing, she's also in the range of Teresh's circle. Two, she's also getting healed back up because of Huron. And because of that, she also gets a shield because of the prototype that we're using. So overall, the new hero here, he just does what he needs to, doing damage, taking things out. Wish he would have gave a little bit more buffs to the energy team, but overall, I feel like once he gets to a higher level of evolution in terms of, Immortal 1 and 2 and 3, he might start dishing out that damage, but it's still going to take time for us to figure out what really works with him. I'm gonna do some more research on him. I'm probably gonna end up making another video about this because I don't want to do another situation where I talked about Ares and then come to find out he was a PvP monster. But here, Jaina is definitely one that's going to carry, and this is what I'm saying, where you're going to look at this and you're going to say, hey, wait, why do I need to pick him up when Jaina is the one that's doing all the work? Again, Jaina's EX30 and Hyperevolve 120. So she should be putting in work. With him, you gotta see that he's not getting a chance to do a lot of work because Jaina's in there. I don't think he would be able to clear 10 if Jaina was there. He'll probably struggle a little bit. But the one other thing, is that I couldn't clear the stage before that. But we're gonna jump right into PvP. So this is the team right here that I'm running for my arena team, and they've been killing it. I love the synergy here. Suresh basically throws Accordia into the enemy's backline and she goes to work. And of course, Suresh can take all of that full frontal damage. Miranda's there to provide more damage reduction, and Purin's also doing damage reduction while also having the new guy in the back doing that heavy AoE damage, and so does Accordia. And really expect the summoner team to be a challenge, and we pretty much beat them fairly easily. And for me, the question was, can this guy help me out with the tank team? Because the tank team has been ruling arena for a very long time. I do have a couple of matches versus me against tank team. They're not fully maxed, but here I'm gonna go over to Galactic Arena and go through and face a couple tank teams, because again, this is why I was creating this team, is to beat the tank team, because you always see it on defense in arena. It's all over PvP. So let's see if this guy could actually live up to the name that I gave him, which is the Meta Breaker. So here we're gonna face our first tank team. I love seeing tank teams that have Purin, because that means I only have to kill them once. When there's Miranda, 2 of them are gonna come back to life, but with Purin, they die easily, and I love that. So like I said, Suresh is basically the person that soaks up most of the damage. And look at where Accordia is. She's by herself over there shooting off her ultimates, and I love to see that. So new guy here, let's see how he does and what he's bringing to the table. He's actually out DPSing Accordia, which is phenomenal. And for me, with him coming in, I was like, okay, what is he gonna bring to the table? And he brought some great stuff to the table, especially what's in his kit, and that's what's on paper. And does he live up to what's on paper? Yes. So this is another team attacking me. So this is Hunters versus the team that I created. And as you can see here, they're basically wiping it out because Accordia is now in their back, and if they have Suresh on the enemy team, they can't throw what's her name, Jaina, in our back. So basically here, we're gonna wipe them out fairly easily, because what are they gonna do about Suresh? Because Suresh is just a damage soaking machine. And overall, it's been doing great. I love that team. I even bring it into PvE, and I can't wait to see what this guy can do in Twilight Lands, because again, you need to think about this. When it comes to Twilight Lands, the last one, what were you stuck on? Whether it be tanks, or whether it was the hunter stage, or was it the assassin bond? So again, I always say this, I'm all about account progression. So for me, I said this before he even came out, that I need to work on my energy team. And this is why I picked him up, bring him to Immortal, gonna bring him to 120, I'm gonna bring him to EX30, because I know my energy team is not great. I don't have Nord. I'm hoping that they bring back Nord next week on the Giant Tower. That would break the game. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to this guy, I like what he brings to the table. I'm very impressed in terms of his abilities. Obviously, I'm still doing some testing, so I don't fully know what he's fully capable of, and I know that he's only gonna get better. So do I recommend you pick him up? Yes, pick him up. It's an energy character. You're gonna need him for Twilight Lands. And right now, we don't really know how these endless battles are gonna go. Maybe they'll go back to energy, but he gives 20%, so pick him up, slot him in, and see where it goes. But I do recommend you pick this guy up. It's a new character. You wanna make sure you get a copy. You don't wanna get into a Northeon situation. It's been a long time since Nord been back into the game. But overall, I'm loving this event, and I hope you're loving it too. So if you're liking the event and how you feel about it, let me know down below. If you're liking the new character, let me know if you summon for him. And I want to thank you for watching. Until the next video, peace.